And here we are, Tuesday, August the 19th, 2025, and it is about 6:59 p.m. ish as always. Today we're going back to my book, Eyes on China, exposing the seamy underbelly of a broken society. We finished chapter 2. We're going to go to chapter 3, and it's going to involve the handicapped, the infirm, the elderly, just a little bit more. And we'll do all of chapter 3 because it's a super short chapter. By the way, what you're looking at on screen there is one of my many coins. I like to keep a variety of coins. This is a Mexican 8 real. Real came before the peso, but it's a nice kind. It's a fun coin to own, and they were very well minted. All right, let's get back to the work here. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Public transportation for the handicapped. Now, when you're in America and you're handicapped, let's say you have a wheelchair, a bus will pull up, and 99 times out of 100, the bus will flip out a ramp for you, or the front lowers. It makes accommodation so you can take a bus because, after all, a lot of handicapped people just don't have driver licenses. If you're getting on board with a walker, in America, somebody's going to come down and help you. Not China. Don't even think it. Bus drivers say no, or in Chinese, bo, 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 bo. Well, here's another great chance to see something you don't even try if you're at all handicapped. If you're infirm, you don't even try taking the bus. Fact. Let's go to Beijing again, capital city, beautiful place. They don't want anybody to see anybody crippled. Oh, God, help us no. The Beijing buses are modern. They're sleek. Some are all electric. They're pretty. They're very well set out, but totally ill-equipped for the handicapped. Understand, if a would-be rider has, say, a walker, just as an example, the bus won't even stop for him at the stops. He sees the guy with a walker waiting under a bus stop. Well, he'll go right through it. If a handicapped person's in a mixed crowd, you got a crowd composed of both handicapped and non-handicapped people. And they're waiting at a bus stop. The bus is going to stop, but the driver's going to wave off anybody appearing to be handicapped or, in his or her opinion, too infirm, whatever the hell that means. If challenged, the driver has these excuses committed to memory. Okay, really good. The Chinese are good at this. He says, and I quote, "I'm not going to be responsible for you," or "I'm not equipped to carry your kind." You love the term, your kind? Use that in America on black people. See how far you get. Your kind. The very cruelty of the Han Chinese. What is he doing? He's parroting his memorized responses, or in one case I watched, reading them from a cheat sheet. Good golly, Miss Molly. Well, understand, so you can't take a bus, so let's take a taxi. Oh, cab drivers would love to get you. These guys are robbers and liars. I mean, with a job as a taxi driver, which you get that with just a bribe or two, no training necessary, and with no moral compass, taxi drivers are, by and large, with a few exceptions, nobody always ever, nobody ever never. But by and large, they are thieves and scoundrels of the lowest order. I mean, when a blind person hails a cab, the driver considers him easy money. It's only too easy to make more money by driving a blind person around just a little bit longer, a little bit more, take some other streets, take the scenic route, or simply misquote the amount shown on the meter. Yeah. Okay, what kind of a low-down scoundrel piece of shit does it take to rip off a blind guy on cab fare? Happens all the time. Life for the blind in a Chinese taxi can be very expensive. It can even be dangerous. Now, you know me, I'm kind of a knight in dirty armor. I put on some dark glasses. I borrowed a white cane. I wrapped my face around. My Chinese is good enough to get by. And they called a taxi for me. And understand, when they call a taxi, I don't mean by phone. They raise their hands up and yell for one. You can't call a cab company and say, please send a taxi to this address. No, you got to wave your hand and call them, flag them down. And then I took 3 cabs through the city, various destinations, and sure enough, every time I was ripped off, every time I was cheated. They were brilliant liars, assuming me to be black. I'm watching these bastards. One of them didn't even turn the meter on. He just pulled a number out of his ass and threw it at me. Pay this. Being of, understand, because I speak my Chinese well enough, I was never spotted as a foreigner. Now, a lot of that's because I wrap my face. I'm a very Northern European, Scottish-looking guy. But I wrapped my face, got in the cold weather. And this is important, okay, because cabbies also make a regular practice out of cheating foreigners. I even had my brother-in-law, total Chinese, looks it, walks it, acts it, play blind one time, they screwed him. So trips that should have cost around 12 yuan ended up costing almost 20. One cabbie who helped me sort through my change took a 100 yuan note from my hand, put it in his pocket. After all, I'm blind. Why not just rip me off? After taking the 100 yuan note, he still insisted on the 20 yuan cab trip. So I think about it. You screwed me on too much money for the cab. And when you're counting up my change for me, you take an extra 100. Happy yuan is to a Chinese man as dollar is to an American. Okay, so what's left? You're not going to take a bus. You take a taxi, God almighty, God bless you. How about the subways? Right, the underground trains. These are efficient. They're a great way to get from here to there. As long as you're not, here's the word, 1, 2, 3, go. Ding, 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 ding. Handicapped. The Chinese government, much to its credit, has done a lot to improve and expand their subway systems. They have dug and built and done a great job. Unfortunately, again, there seems to be no plan for making it easily accessible to the handicapped. I can remember descending 120 stairs on an escalator that, of course, was shut down at the time to get into a subway station. Once down here in the belly of the subway beast, one finds getting onto the train an ordeal at best and an absolute impossibility at worst. Here's a note. Think Japanese subways and remove any possible semblance of order or organization. Introduce chaos. Now you have a picture of the pandemonium that surrounds the Chinese subway systems. Whether you have sight disorders, whether you're blind, horribly visibly impaired, or not. Whether you're physically fit or not. Understand this, okay? If you have good sight, if you have a good body, you're strong, okay? Or if you're blind, again, or physically challenged, the real trick here is to ride this great Leviathan, these huge fast trains. The biggest part of this challenge is the Chinese people themselves. China people, they will not help you on or off or offer you a seat. You manage getting over the gaps in the spaces and you wiggle your way into a subway car, a lot of strap hangers. No one's going to stand up for you. They won't even hold a door for you. The fact is, if you're obviously physically challenged, people will deliberately shove you out the door and back onto the platform. They don't want to be around you. You hear these words, "It's not my business." That's the Chinese mantra. It's not my business. Coupled with a lack of understanding, even partially resembling compassion or morality, this has helped the Chinese people to rank among the most socially worthless and self-centered people on the planet. Okay, to sum it up, if you're handicapped and want to go anywhere, let me turn that ringing noise off for a minute. There we go. I hate it when the phone rings. I should have turned the damn ringer off. Let's go back. Sum it up. If you're handicapped and you want to go anywhere in China, be sure and bring a sighted companion with you. I don't care how independent you are. Bring somebody with you. Bring a little social bodyguard. These bastards are cunning. They're conniving, and you won't stand a chance in hell. I'm going to turn the phone off now. I should have done it before. Let me turn off the ringer. I should have done that. Okay, ringer's off. Screw whoever's calling. I'm sorry, I'm back. Okay. I don't care how independent you are. Bring a bodyguard. These bastards are cunning. They're conniving. You're not going to stand a chance in hell against them alone in their world. If you're a woman, don't even dream of it. This is the Chinese subway system. These are the Chinese taxis. These are the Chinese trains. I mean, it's unbelievable. Now, what we're going to talk about tomorrow, we're going to get off the handicapped gig. We're going to go to police and hospitals in China. Woo, that's going to be a beauty, baby. Police and hospitals. Oh, my God. In the words of my wonderful grandmother, my abuela, it makes my ass hurt. Talk to you about that tomorrow.